When mentioning the first computer, many of us will envision compact desktop computers, flat screens, and convenient keyboards like those of today. However, the reality of the first computer was entirely different, marking a significant turning point in the history of science and technology for humanity. Let's turn back time to the 1940s, a period when the world was still engulfed in the flames of World War II. In that context, scientists and engineers tirelessly sought ways to solve complex problems for military purposes, particularly calculating the ballistic trajectories of artillery. A task that humans, no matter how intelligent, would take hours or even days to complete just one calculation. From this urgent need, the world's first electronic computer, ENIAC, Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer, was born at the University of Pennsylvania, USA. ENIAC is the result of research and development by two brilliant scientists, John Presper Eckert and John William Mauchly. They are recognized as the fathers of modern electronic computers. So what did ENIAC look like? Very different from what we are familiar with today, ENIAC was a gigantic machine, occupying an area of 167 square meters, equivalent to a large room. The entire system weighed up to 30 tons, using more than 18,000 vacuum tubes, 1,500 relays, hundreds of switches, counters, and wires tangled like a maze. Just turning on ENIAC was a challenge. The heat emitted from the tubes could raise the room temperature to unbearable levels, requiring a specialized cooling system. ENIAC did not have a display screen, nor did it have a mouse or keyboard like modern computers. To input data and program ENIAC, engineers had to use a series of plug boards and mechanical switches. Whenever they wanted to change the program, they had to disconnect and reconnect hundreds of wires according to a new diagram, a task that required meticulousness, patience, and a deep understanding of the machine's structure. Programming ENIAC was truly an art, and the first women who took on this role, known as the ENIAC Girls, became pioneering programmers in the history of technology. But despite being bulky and complex, ENIAC had superior computing capabilities compared to any device ever created by humans before. It could perform 5,000 additions or 300 multiplications per second, an astonishing figure at that time. In comparison, an average person would take several minutes to complete a complex multiplication, but ENIAC only needed a fraction of a second. Thanks to that speed, ENIAC helped reduce computation time from weeks to just a few hours or even minutes. ENIAC was officially put into operation in 1945, just before the end of World War II. Although it did not have the opportunity to serve directly in the war, ENIAC demonstrated its enormous application potential in science, military, and later in economics and industry. It successfully calculated ballistic trajectory problems, designed atomic bombs, forecasted weather, and many other fields, marking the beginning of the era of electronic computers. However, ENIAC was not the only first computer in history. Before ENIAC, scientists had invented many other mechanical and electronic computing devices, such as Charles Babbage's mechanical computer in the 19th century, or the British electronic computer Colossus, used for code-breaking during World War II. But ENIAC was the first electronic computer capable of being programmed and performing various types of problems, not limited to a specific task. After ENIAC, subsequent generations of computers have continuously emerged with increasingly compact sizes, faster processing speeds, and larger storage capacities. From room-sized computers, humanity has progressed to desktop computers, laptops, smartphones, and today's ultra-compact mobile devices. But whenever we look back, we cannot help but admire the creativity, courage, and foresight of pioneers like Eckert and Mauchly, who laid the solid foundation for the modern digital world. In addition, it is impossible not to mention the role of the first team of programmers, most of whom were women, who overcame all social barriers to become leaders in the field of technology. They contributed to transforming the giant ENIAC machine into a useful tool, laying the foundation for the programming and software development industry today. If you have the chance to see the preserved images of ENIAC, you will see a large room with long rows of cabinets, bright lights, tangled wires, and engineers focused on working at the control panels. That is the iconic image of the beginning of a new industrial revolution. The digital revolution that has been and is changing the entire landscape of the world. Nowadays, when holding a compact smartphone, few can imagine that its computing power far exceeds millions of times that of the ENIAC. But it was the ENIAC, with its bulky shape, complex structure, and the passionate people behind it, that laid the foundation for the remarkable development of modern information technology. In summary, the first computer, ENIAC, was a gigantic heavy machine that used tens of thousands of vacuum tubes, wires, and complex circuit boards without a screen or keyboard. Yet it was a great turning point that opened a new era for humanity. Two scientists, John Presper Eckert and John William Mauchly, invented ENIAC, along with the silent but significant contributions of the first female programmers in history. The story of ENIAC is not just the story of an invention, but also a testament to the power of intellect, creativity, and the human desire to conquer the unimaginable. Today, as technology has become an indispensable part of life, let us take a moment to remember the difficult early days, the great people who dared to dream and turned those dreams into reality. They paved the way for us to enter a new world, a world of knowledge, creativity, and countless limitless possibilities. And that is the story of what the first computer looked like and who invented it.